computer audio.
So it is my pleasure to introduce Jane and Corey from CloudNet. So we just ask that if you have any questions throughout the presentation, put it in the chat. And after the presentation is complete, Corey and Jane will go through and answer any of your questions that you might have. Please, while the presentation is going, put your mute on so that we can have a clear audio of Corey and Jane. And know that we are all working from home. So sometimes when we're doing presentations, there are some noises that happen, but that is okay. If cats enter the screen, we'll all enjoy it. And I guess that's all of my housekeeping, but it's now my pleasure to introduce Corey. So Corey is a networking engineer with over 25 years of experience in this industry. He has a patent pending compressed algorithm allowing for speedy data transfers over internet, eliminating the need for a slow VPN. Corey.
Thanks so much, Jude. And thanks for joining, everybody. Hopefully you can all hear me well. I had to ditch the headset a little earlier because apparently the audio wasn't so great. And I hope you're all enjoying lunch. Did
everybody get lunch?
Everybody get it? Yeah.
Good.
Awesome. Great.
Good.
So as you mentioned, our company is CloudNet. And we came into existence basically because I used to be a consultant for a number of years and ran an IT department for a large lighting electrical company that many of you will probably know. And over the years, we kind of looked at IT systems and, we kind of looked at the old ways of doing things, the way people currently do things. So, typically, if you're a small, medium business, IT is a high expense. You call on a consultant, you pay them their bills when they, wait for them. They drive to your office, they fix what's broken. And that's kind of the typical way we've always done things. You would buy servers, you would buy computers, and you would buy them with enough power and enough resources to meet the needs and demands of your business software. And again, that tends to be expensive because you're buying a lot of horsepower that you use 1-2% of the time. So we found these things inefficient and kind of looked for a better way of doing this. So CloudNet was born, and we've been helping companies now for 9 years by kind of eliminating the traditional way of doing things, and I guess as Jane titled this, to let people have a little more fun. So as business owners, we kind of want to work from home, or as small business owners,
Lake.
The lake,
the cottage,
coffee shop, wherever. But as business owners, and especially as small and medium business owners, we don't have the luxury of just walking away from our business for 2 weeks at a time and going on vacation. So we kind of included all that stuff in the way we now do IT. And traditionally there were different options for working from home or from places that had multi-branch locations with servers. You would typically use a VPN, web-based programs, file sharings like Google Drive, Dropbox, remote desktops, these kind of things. So what we decided to do is combine that all into one, provide the infrastructure, the consulting, the management, the maintenance, all that good stuff. So this isn't just for summer enjoyment, or working through COVID. This is actually meant for your day-to-day business use. So, Jude, can you make me a presenter actually? Or do I just click share screen now? All right. Sorry guys, I'm used to using Teams. What's not letting me share my screen?
The share screen's just at the bottom. You should be able to just click on it.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Should be able to. Oh, this is great for IT guys. We usually use Teams. There we go. Got it. All right. You're all going to see yourself for a second. Share. Okay. So everybody see my laptop screen? Perfect. Okay. So basically what we did is we wrapped everything all into one, and we have this handy dandy little little icon here that if you're going to use our cloud PCs and cloud servers, cloud services, you just double click on the icon and you get your nice company logo here and all that good stuff. And you put in your username and password and you log in. But we've taken, some serious measures here to secure this. There's actually 4 levels of security going on here as we're connecting to the system. There's actually 3 in this demonstration. There's a 4th. We do offer multi-factor authentication or 2-factor authentication. So when you're logging in, your phone beeps and you can say, yes, I approve this login, or no, I don't approve this login. Then when you get connected to your cloud PC like I am here now, also we put your logo on there, not ours. All of your business applications are available to you. So this is a fully managed system. When I say fully managed, I mean fully managed. If you have a problem with QuickBooks, you call us up. Our support team will deal with the QuickBooks problem because all this is inside our infrastructure for you. We'll fix it, or we'll contact their support and get them to help us fix it, and then we'll call you back and say that, yes, this is up and running. And it's not just limited to QuickBooks. We have QuickBooks as the demo product on here because that's the one we have. It could be simply Business Vision's PSA, any Windows-based system. All of our programs are here. We're running Word, Excel, Outlook, Google Docs, whatever you might want to use. So
Can I just say something, Corey? And those are full versions of all the Microsoft Office products. It's not the web versions, because sometimes I know the web versions don't have the same capability as the desktop versions do. So these are full desktop versions.
Yep. Whatever software you want to use, we can get in that environment and take care of it for you. So we also provide, as I mentioned, the full server backend. This is where things become real big cost savings for you folks. As anybody who's got servers knows that they're expensive to buy, they're expensive to license, and they're expensive to maintain. So we provide all the server backend, and you're not going to see that here, but you might see things like we've got our company shared folders. So here's all my company documents. So I can open up my demo Word document here and I can work on it, or open my Outlook up and get into my email. It's actually not going to log in because I don't have a license to this one right now, but we can have our QuickBooks data as well, or accounting data, whatever data we have to share. We have an admin folder, for example. So if we want to share our admin folder between the administration folks. So again, all that server backend and all that server structure with security and whatnot, we can provide that all as well for you, and it's all included as part of the service. The other real big thing here is that our system, the little app that you've seen, it runs on anything. So you can run it on a Windows PC, you can run it on a tablet, you can run it on a Chromebook, you can run it on your phone if you want to. That's extremely painful because it's really small looking at your computer screen on a phone. But the other benefit comes is you don't have costly PC upgrades down the road. So once you bought that PC, you basically can run it till the smoke comes out of it, and you don't need these big expensive computers because all of the horsepower for all of your applications is run in the data center. And so that kind of can help you have a more fixed IT budget going forward. There's no surprises, something breaks and you get a consultant's bill. And we can avoid those expenses and literally just do, because everything is built on a monthly cost. So, and as I mentioned, you can get this from anywhere, from home. I run it on a cell phone when I'm traveling to, Cuba, Mexico, whatever. I tether to my phone and log in, work on airplanes because a lot of them have Wi-Fi now. And really is a great solution to give you that freedom, to give your staff the tools that they need and want and none of the tools that they don't need, so we can keep them kind of out of places. But gives you the ability and the flexibility to quickly work from home. If a staff member is not feeling well, they don't want to come in, but they still need to do something, then they can do that. So that's the quick, kind of 10-minute overview. I guess I can jump into, to any questions. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And, if you think of something later, we can certainly, Jane can arrange, one-on-one chats. Because like I said, this was kind of the, 50,000-foot view.
Can I just say, so I'm not, no, Corey's a very technical person. I am not. So the Cloud PC is very, very easy to use. If you can log into your online banking, you can do this. He'll set up your file structure. If you want to share files with 3 people, you have admin files, and 5 people, he can set up the file structure however you want. They update all the software for you, so you don't have to wait for that to happen. Like he mentioned about QuickBooks or any kind of, so if you say, this isn't working, you don't have to call and wait on hold for 5 hours. They'll do that. The tech support guys do it for you. So it's pretty great that way. We've had really good feedback. I know we work with a lot of customers, and a lot of them, their wives will thank us when we go on business trips where it's a meeting. Often the wives will say, like, I've never seen my husband so much, because they can work from wherever. If you use QuickBooks, or I'm sure Sage is the same, I don't use it, but if you forget to post something and then you have to drive back to the office, you'll really love us, because you can log on from home and you can post whatever you need to do. So it is try to make it as worry-free and as easy as possible. So we've had people that just sent their first email that can log in and they feel like technical geniuses, because it is so easy to use.
Jane, we have a question from Allison. What kind of price or costs are associated with this? Excellent question.
Yeah.
So, Allison, everything is on a subscription cost. So
Monthly.
It's a monthly fee, and it's $50 a month for this is really simple. $50 a month for the servers. Jane, you can correct me if I'm wrong on the pricing. Actually, I'll let you just tell them the cloud cost and the per user cost.
Sure. Okay, so I also want to mention to you that they're month-to-month contracts. We don't want you to stay with us because you're stuck in some kind of contract. We want you to stay with us because you cannot live without us. So it is $50 per server. It doesn't matter the company size. Like we have customers that have 100 and some users, and they just have one server fee. So it's $50 for the server fee, and then each cloud PC is $34. And each user is $13.50. But if you sign up for pre-authorized payments, we'll give it to you for $13. So the reason why we break them out is, let's say that you have a receptionist and you have one that comes in from 8 to noon and one that comes in from noon to 5. You only need one cloud PC, because those 2 people will never be logged in at the same time, but you probably want them to have different usernames so that you can trace what they've done. So some companies will have less cloud PCs than they have users, simply because they job share. But if, let's say you have 4 cloud PCs and 5 users, only 4 users can be logged in at once. When the 5th user tries to log in, they'll get an error message. Does that make sense?
I got a little lost on that last little bit.
Oh, with the users?
Mm.
Okay, so if you have 4 cloud PCs and you have 5 users, so that you've got that person that only works part-time, that 5th user can't log in while the other ones are logged in. So only 4 people can be logged in at once.
Real simple way, Allison, this is not exactly what it is, but if in your current office building, if you have 4 computers in your whole office, but you have 5 staff, well, there's only 4 computers for those people to sit at, correct?
Yeah.
So therefore, the 5th person walks in the office, they have to wait for someone to get up. And we've just done that to just try to keep the costs down, like Jane said, for the situations where, for example, your reception person, you may have 2 different people doing that. but they're never in at the same time. So it makes sense to not buy a cloud PC for each one of them. Just like it would make sense not to put 2 computers at that desk. You would only put 1 computer at that desk. So they're virtual computers.
Okay, so I know in our situation, I mean, we have the desktops, but we also have laptops that we use to take home.
Yep.
So does that mean there'd be you know, a cloud on each the laptops and the computers?
No. So
Oh, no.
for example, how many, let's say you got 2 staff in your office, okay? And what you need is you need a username and password for each, or username for each staff. So yourself and the other person. That's you and I. So that would be the $13 a month. We each get our login. You get Allison for the login, I get Corey for the login.
Okay.
Then, because we're both going to work at the same time throughout the day, we would need a cloud PC each. You can log on to that cloud PC. So I need one and you need one. So that's it. I can install that application I showed you folks earlier on 100 devices. It doesn't matter. So I can install it on my desktop. I can install it on my laptop. I can install it on my home computer. That I'm still only using one cloud PC in our virtual environment. So when I log on at my office, I access that virtual cloud PC. When I go home, I'm still accessing that same virtual cloud PC.
I got you.
Yeah. So it really is meant to be a cost savings for people overall. Hugely, because like I said, our monthly fee, that's it. That's the monthly fee. We never sit with our hand out saying, you know, oh, there's a charge for this or there's a charge for that. That's it. You do have to buy your own licenses for your software. So for example, if you were using Sage 50 for your accounting services, you would still need to purchase your license for that. If you're using Microsoft Office or Google G Suite, you still need to purchase your license for that. The difference is we'll manage that for you if you'd like us to. I mean, we provide the cloud PC, we install the software, we manage our users, and we'll also take care of managing those things for you. Managing email services for you if you're running Office 365 or G Suite. Just the goal is to provide a full IT department, if you will, with enterprise level services. So the thing the big guys have, being able to log in from anywhere, being able to access your data, being able to have that security, being able to have the highest in antivirus, the monitored point of presence is like the internet connections are monitored 24/7 so that we make sure that there's an intrusion attempt. We know. So you get those enterprise level services with this, and we think it's a whole lot cheaper.
And so if I have, say, 6 staff, so it would be the $50 monthly server fee, and then 6 times the 34 for the cloud PC, and 6 times $13 for each user. Yes.
Yeah, basically, if all 6 of your staff are going to be always logged on at the same time, yes, you would need 6 cloud PCs. That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But if you say 2 of those staff are field staff and they're not in the office usually at the same time, or they're not doing computer work at the same time, you might be able to reduce that to 1 for those staff and go with 5 and 6.
Okay.
I also want to mention the security. It is bank level security, so it's tier 3, a data center. So there's a data center here in Fredericton. There's a warm standby in Montreal. We work a lot with disaster recovery, so we've kind of looked at like, oh my God, what if the building burnt down, or what if you flooded? So if your office floods, you're able to just take that and go home and keep working. Or if the power goes off, you can go home or go somewhere with power. Like Corey said, you can tether to a cell phone if your internet. We have 2 internet connections at the data center, so that if one goes down, like we've really done a lot of that fail-safe stuff, I guess, to try to maximize everyone's opportunity.
Uptime.
Yeah,
And
uptime.
of course, and you're a local business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we work with companies clear across Canada, the United States, and one in Japan. So it
Okay.
really is something that we can easily deploy and help you, all of these small businesses, they don't have IT people, but they call us. The only thing you're responsible for in your office is making sure you have an internet connection and
Mhm.
you have a device that can connect to that internet. And if you want a printer, make sure you have the printer there.
Mhm.
Cool part about being local is that, every once in a while I could come have a coffee.
Mhm.
I'm going to be cheeky now. Being a charity, do you have charity rates?
Not really.
We
Okay.
actually don't. Our business, because of the prices, like they are so low. If you look at a competitive product, for example, Amazon Web Services, just the server alone is probably going to cost you $1,000 a month. Because we keep those prices so low, the way we built the business is, it's on volume,
Mhm.
and it's very cookie cutter. We don't step outside the offerings that we have, because by doing that we can keep the costs way down and we keep the markups really low. Hey, everybody wants to make $1 million, but I don't want to make it off of you, Allison. Right? So, traditionally speaking, I mean, if you compare the cost of even just buying your server, chances are the server that you need, our cost is actually less than just buying the server, and then you get all the extra. And the way we were able to do that is, we have, as Jane mentioned, 2 data centers, and like I said very early in the presentation, often you'll buy a server or servers or computer equipment to meet a really high power need that you're only going to utilize 1% of the time. And so by virtualizing our environment here and sharing the resources that we have of all the server equipment that we have, it reduced that cost significantly. And yeah, we keep it quite low.
I just had a couple of questions, Corey.
Sure.
The applications themselves are on your server, right? Is there a
Yeah.
limitation to what applications or how many applications or that would be on that server for whatever application needs we would have?
That's right. So Jerry, as long as their applications are Windows based, so works in a Windows environment, we can load them all on for you, whatever it is. What we do require is that any applications you have, that you have the proper licenses for them, and that we be able to reach their technical support, because we're guaranteeing you that we're going to do the tech support for you, but we don't know every piece of software out there. And for example, we're very familiar with QuickBooks and Sage, and some specialized software in like the disaster recovery world and things like that. So we've seen a lot of the issues. So something comes up, a QuickBooks issue. Oh, that's very common. The file won't open. We need to go into the file doctor. This is what we'll do. We don't have to reach out to their support. But in the event that we run into a scenario that we haven't encountered before, and our support folks, staff don't know what to do to fix that, then we need to be able to reach out to that company and talk to their support in whatever manner they have. Perhaps it's chat support, or you can call them, but we take care of that for you. So, it's really any software you as long as we can kind of meet those 2 things. Now, if we have a specialized software that you don't have support on, we can still install that. But of course, our limitation is the availability of support if we need help with that. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, and if we have support with an application, are we able to share our, I guess, our screen or give access to the support company to be able to
Yes.
do any service issues and so on?
Yeah, but again, it's totally up to you. If you want to do that, if you want to call them and let them remote in and work with you, that's fine. But we'll do that for you. In other words, you create a support ticket with us, you email our support, or you call us, and you say, hey, we're having this problem. We'll contact them and deal with it for you so that you don't have to waste your time doing that. And then when it's resolved, we'll get back to you. But you can do it too. But part of our service is that we're doing that. So why waste the time doing it, right?
Sure. And I guess you indicated that you basically, you need a basic computer because all the processing is done through your service.
Yep.
So what would the equivalency of your service processing speed and that type of stuff is there?
Oh.
Yeah.
So in other words, what type of processing power can we offer to you?
Yeah.
Typically, our servers are provisioned to, they're dynamic. So in other words, if you need 64 processors, if you need the equivalent, say, of an Intel processor with running at 3.5, 4 gigahertz with 64 cores, which is ridiculous because you can't get that on any PCs right now. But you can have that much processing power because it is all dynamic. The RAM, same thing. So up to 256 gigabytes of RAM, typically. We've never limited storage capacity. We have a fair use policy. We ask that you please don't upload the videos of your trip to Hawaii or your family's wedding photos. Keep it work related, and that's worked very well. We've never ever had an issue with that. So we just let you have the amount of storage resources that you need. Anybody else?
A lot, I know.
Or Jerry, did I answer your question?
Oh, I think so. That's why we got Jay here, is to fill me in on all the blanks as far as what this technical stuff even means. So,
Yep.
So we'll follow up further conversations after the fact, I guess. So yeah.
Cool. Anybody else have any other questions? Oh, sorry, Allison.
I was just going to say, so I'll follow up with my staff and with my board because I could well be interested in something like this.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anybody who has any further questions, you all have Jane's email address. I believe she was in touch to get you all fixed up with lunch.
I can put it in the chat too.
Feel free to email, and we'd be happy to, actually, I'm all vaccinated. We could even do a virtual meeting or a meeting, socially distanced and such.
I just put both our email addresses in the chat.
Well, Jim, and everyone, thanks very much for attending. Thanks for having us. And I guess we'll turn it back to Jude and let her kind of wrap things up.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and attending this session today. And thank you so much to Jane and Corey. You've been very informative. And the things you talked about, there's a lot of words and numbers that I did not understand either. But for any of you who need clarification, their emails are in the chat. And thank you again. This was very amazing. And the dinner, so kind of you to do. Thank you so much for providing that for the members as well. And if anyone has any questions for me, reach out to me at events@thefrederictonchamber.ca. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm going to stop the recording.